What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of Grey Man Operations. It is the Okapi discussion. It had to happen, right? Those of you who follow the channel will remember a few months ago, I received a care package from Okapi. Okapi is a knife manufacturer, and they're a South African knife manufacturer. They were originally a manufacturer out of Germany, and then somehow the rights bought over. But anyway, for many years, Okapi has been a South African knife company that provides very, very inexpensive knives to what they say on their own website is the working/rural class of people. Now, those of you who follow the channel will know that I don't necessarily focus or not focus, I don't necessarily position myself as a knife enthusiast. I have a couple of blades that I really, really like. I mean, it's funny to say that I designed and manufactured my own blade. Guys, these are not available anymore. It was a limited run, and they are all sold out. But I'm more of a utilitarian kind of person, right? My EDC blade for the longest time has been an old-fashioned, it's probably like 10-year-old Benchmade Griptilian. I've used this thing for everything from starting fires to opening boxes. It is just the perfect for me, for my requirement. I have no emotional attachment to my knives. Like I say, there is a huge knife culture globally where people buy really, really fancy knives and like these Damascus style things, and they're absolutely beautiful. Make no mistake, it's beautiful stuff. And they really care about their knives, and they go into blade steels, and that's perfectly fine. I'm just not one of those guys, right? It's I look at it as more of a tool. Now, Okapi sent me quite a substantial package of knives. I think they basically sent me one of each, right? I chose the most generic but colorful version to use as my test. This is basically what I consider their base model. You do get it with like a wood grain finish as well, right? But I went for the least fancy base model. This is a glass-filled nylon grip, and quite impressively, the blade steel is N690. Now, I've asked a couple of people about this, and they've told me that N690 for an EDC blade is an excellent steel to use. It holds the edge very well, and it's easily sharpenable. How I used this, I basically used this knife for everything. I used it obviously to open boxes. I used it to open packages. I even ate with it. Okay. A big part of me thought Okapi was just cheap knives. Like, not there's a difference between cheap and inexpensive as far as I'm concerned. Inexpensive is something that can do a job that isn't expensive. Cheap is something that is not much money but will fall apart. I don't know, it's got its pros and its cons. Now, on the pro side, the N690 blade steel is an exceptional blade steel for a knife costing what this costs. It's a very usable tool. It's extremely light and extremely simple. It basically features a blade, a pin that's been, I believe it's called pinned over, a locking mechanism, and it's not really a locking mechanism, which we'll talk about in a second, but this metal mechanism that it's like sprung steel. So as you rotate it, can you see how it lifts up? And then it locks down. And obviously you've got your grip, which in this case is glass-filled nylon. That's it. There's no fancy bearing, rotating, locking mechanism. There is no, what's it called, apex mechanism. It's basically just that. The locking mechanism on the base model, there is no locking mechanism. So you have to always use this blade in a manner that it's orientated away from you, and you can never use the back end of the blade for anything. Some people say when you start the fire on those fire starters, use the back end. I was always taught if you're going to use a blade, you always make sure the sharp edge is pointed away from you, no matter what. But let's just say, for example, this was one of those flint style things. If I use the back end and I'm not going to apply pressure here, If I use the back end and I press too hard, it would close on my hand. These Okapi knives have no active locking mechanism. 2 days ago, I cut myself with this knife. Can you guys see there's a little tape on this tripod, or the stand? This is how I cut myself. Okay, so using this knife a few days ago, this light you see here is on a very particular type of stand, and it used to be standing on this thing. Now, to get this tape off, okay, I have two options. I could either peel it, but no one's got time for that, or I could tuck the knife underneath it and pull it outwards. Now, in tucking the knife underneath, I pressed, and as I pressed, imagine my hand is the thing, it came like that. Basically that happened. And in like removing my hand from it, somehow this closed and it nicked my thumb. I should have known better, but still, a locking mechanism would have been nice. Now, one of their models with the blade steel here is 1075. I think it's high carbon steel. It has this little ring at the back. This has a locking mechanism. Okay, then if you can see, let's just move out of the way. Right there. That's the locking mechanism. So this does lock, but this is a different, this is a special kind. Okay, it's not like their base model. So I didn't want to test this one. So if you do want one with a locking mechanism, you just have to understand you're not getting that N690, you're getting 1075. And the way to unlock it, it's very weird. You take this little key ring, you've got to pull this way and push the blade, and that then unlocks it. Although I have to be honest, that's quite beautiful, right? I mean, that's very ornate. It's really nice. So the no locking mechanism for me on an EDC blade is a bit of a downer. The other big downer is, as you can see, there's no pocket clip. Okay? Okapi, I appreciate your desire to maintain tradition and a traditional shape, but the pocket clip, you almost cannot find a knife these days that doesn't have a pocket clip on it, because people want to clip these things into their pockets. And I promise you, if you put a pocket clip on here, let's say it costs an extra $50, no one's going to throw their toys out of the cot. Please consider doing that. It would make carrying it so much easier, and it means it's not going to fall out of your pocket. I've been carrying it in my front right pocket, and it's generally fine. But I have noticed sometimes when I'm sitting in a car, it will sort of slide down the side of my pocket and almost like out a bit. And that's, that issue will be solved with a pocket clip. So please consider adding a style or type of pocket clip. In the few months I've been using this for, like I said, everything from eating to opening boxes, and I've been told rubbing the edge of a blade against a plate is a horrendous thing to do, right, to a blade. It's remained sharp. Like I told you, that cut, guys, legitimately hand on heart was from this blade 2 days ago. So it's held its edge really nicely. To the touch, you can feel it's sharp, really sharp. Like, when something is so sharp, it's almost like grippy on your skin, right? It's really sharp, but there is a little edge to the top here, just there. Just that little edge that's dulled a bit, okay? And then the rest is that super grippy sharpness. So it's held its edge, I would say, very acceptably for what I've been doing with it. The second thing, guys, is the price. It's so accessible. If you are someone who is not a knife-orientated person, you don't need the world's most fanciest knife, but you do want something just to chuck in your pocket, chuck in your backpack. Now, is this going to be able to do what this has done for me for as long as this has done for me? I don't know. I can't tell. Like I said, I can't review things in the future. I can only review them based on my current experiences. And I usually do reviews over a few months. Some people like do reviews over a few weeks. I usually take a few months to do a review because I want to become a bit intimate with the product. And so in the sharpness, I appreciate it. The options I appreciate. I mean, you got So you got a lot of options, and I think that's really cool. And the options aren't more expensive. Like whichever one you go for, they cost the same amount of money. As a gift, as something for someone to chuck in their pocket, as something for someone to keep in their drawer at the office if they enjoy biltong. It's a nice, even a nice stocking stuffer. It's a really usable tool for a very inexpensive price, and it's got a bit of South African history. It's made and produced in South Africa. It's not one of those made in China things imported to South Africa. We stamp it. It's literally made in South Africa. If you do need a knife for at home for opening boxes and letters and shit like that, you'll be supporting a local company. And then you can carry your Benchmade or your Civivi or whatever else you want to carry in your pocket. Guys, two more things I want to talk about. Those of you who follow me on Patreon, remember, guys, at the end of September, at the end of this month, I will be giving away a Canik Meta SF. Now, also, the Canik SF Combat. The guys from Canik told me if you buy one this month, you get a free red dot. Now, you usually get the MO1, but they might run out of stock of the MO1, so you're going to get one of these Vortex-style optics, right? They're actually going to send it to me, the new optic, and I'm going to do like a quick burn down, a quick stress test, just to see what it's all about. I'll try to have that video up for you guys next week, Sunday. It's going to mean me chucking a lot of cash into ammo, but it is what it is. That's what we do here. So check that out. And remember, guys, if you're going to miss out if you're not a patron, after this firearm, we're giving away another one at the end of the year. And then obviously everything restarts in 2026. Guys, that is it. That is my review of these Okapi knives. You're getting what you pay for. That's it, guys. Have a good week. Be safe. Train hard. Cheers. God bless.